5 is Australia race number 10 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,000 metres. We talked about speed in the previous race. Well, this one is going to be electric.
Yeah, looks to be a lot of speed on paper. We'll go straight into the replay of last start, second place getter, Pretentious Chant.
Pretentious Chant on the outside, going up quickly. Desi's Dream down near the inside, pushing up along the rail. Down the outside, You're Up, just trying to hold Juventus in across heels. Snack Pack further back, Pretentious Chant inside the 200. Went to the lead from Bombs Away. Juventus, Desi's Dream winding up on the inside. Pretentious Chant, here's Desi's Dream, Juventus, Pretentious Chant, and Desi's Dream.
Really impressive performance here by this gelding. It's just snuck under the radar nicely. You take a look at the first campaign and the form lines are only fair to be polite, really. They're nothing much to read about. You take a look at the runs this campaign, a really good performance first up. That was on a soft track, winning on that occasion by a length, but let's be honest again, it was a maiden race, so you don't take too much from that. Then steps out against Desi's Dream and almost pinches it at huge odds. It was backed in from about 50s on course to 30 on that occasion. Now draws barrier 12 with the 54 kilos, and we realise that this gelding might be a serious animal by War Chant. Likes a soft track, one at the distance. Barrier will just go back and run on strongly, and with the speed in the race, I couldn't rule it out. It's definitely in my top 4.
And we mentioned in our previous edition of the box set, and that Desi's Dream form, that's Group 1 form. She's a Group 1 place getter. You know, that's really, really handy form. Also in the market, we've got D'Andes, who backs up from last week's Roma Cup. Now, was wide on that occasion and finished a long last.
I saw Mark Wright on Wednesday and he was doing the rain dance. He was dancing all over the place in the mounting yard, arms and legs going everywhere, and he said just keep it coming because if it rains, they are very, very confident on this animal. And I can understand why as well. The win on a soft track 3 starts ago was brilliant by 2 lengths over Rule to Win, which we've seen win since. William Pike on board, another big positive. The question mark for mine is the 1,000 metres. We saw this horse drop this a while back, 4 starts ago, when I think we both didn't mind it on that occasion, and it got beaten. 7 attempts over the distance, 1/3. So it really doesn't like the 1,000, whether it's too short and it gets run off its leg early, I'm not sure. But I'm taking in the factor of the rain and the William Pike factor and speed in this race, and I'll have it on top.
Yeah, me too, Adam. I'm with you there. We'll also have a quick look at number 2 there, Tudor Bolt from the Ross Price yard. Aaron Mitchell takes 2 kilos off this galloper. First up, races well fresh, but 200 days since its last win.
If you want to hide a horse in a trial, Jared Noski is your man, and he almost put this horse to sleep. It was a brilliant trial, the way that he was out the back just holding on to it, and look, it ended up losing the trial by 3 lengths, but he didn't even know it had gone round. It was a brilliant trial performance. The first up form is good. It has a very good track and distance record as well, and then you go through the form lines from last campaign. It was only been a short head by Vengabus, which we saw streaming out and winning plenty of races at Ascot as well. So look, from barrier 1 you get a really nice race. Again, with the speed on, I think the Tudor Bolt can jump over the top and win this race, but I am going to tip number 5 D'Andes from 2 Tudor Bolt, 7 Bombs Away, and 10 Pretentious Chant.
5 on top for me too, Adam. D'Andes on top of 4 Roman Fighter, 6 Jack and Sam, 8 Mystic Maid.
Race 6 is Australia race number 12 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,200 metres. Really looking forward to this race. I think when you're going through the program and you're trying to find the soft form, this is probably the one we've seen most runners go around it. We can get a bit more of a feel for how they're going to handle the track.
Absolutely, Adam. We'll go straight into the replay of number 10, Express Dancer, last start, running second behind Prophet Street.
Is being followed by Express Dancer, and further back behind them, Palace Intruder, heavy set. Here comes Reflectance down the middle of the track by the 250. Temporise against the inside, deeper out Prophet Street. Express Dancer's getting through as well. Prophet Street, though, at the 100, races up, goes to the lead from Temporise, Express Dancer, and it's Prophet Street. Prophet Street in the last, beat Express Dancer, Temporise.
Really good performance there by Express Dancer, jumped out of the ground late and really attacked the line strongly. Look, goes up in weight now, obviously, with Clint Johnson-Porter not riding, so it does meet the likes of Thunder Love and Barracky Beats, also Royal Rada worse in the weights, but from a nice draw in barrier 7, I think it just sit nicely. There's a bit of speed in this race with Temporise. Muskers are drawn in the race as well. I think conditions will suit, even though we haven't seen him on the soft track before, but he'll jump out of the ground late and he'll be very hard to beat.
Yeah, we've also got another $10 shot, number 5 Stocks, who trialled really well recently. I really enjoyed the trial. Has a really good soft record. The only query is he's never run a place first up.
No, and the 1,200 metres is too short. I'm with you. I've got a lot of time for Stocks. Sean Casey has told us before that the 1,600 metres is where we're going to see this horse really succeed. And we saw that last campaign as well. The Cosmic Storm, Proper Andy's form lines around the 1,500-1,600 metres are brilliant. But first up, big question mark. 1,200 metres, big question mark. The tick is, again, though, with speed and the soft track, it may feel more like a 1,1400 metres, and maybe Stocks can run over the top of them. It's a classy animal.
And worth a play at double figure odds for sure, Adam. Another one near that price as well is number 7, Gigante, who was okay behind Born Supremacy last start, who went on to run really well in the Roma Cup.
Cannot believe the price of this horse. Absolutely unbelievable. You take a look at the form lines, Classical Prince, Secret Nova, Mickey Two Toes and Born Supremacy, much stronger. And then you take a look at the soft track, 4 attempts for 3 placings. It's had 5 attempts at the track and distance, never finished outside of the top 3, and jumps from barrier 6 with 56 kilos. So mine, this horse is going to get the best run of the race. You know it handles conditions, you know it loves the track and distance, and I'm tipping it on top here. 7 Gigante from number 8 Conjob, 10 Express Dancer and 2 Temporize.
5 on top for me, Adam. Stocks from 10 Express Dancer, 6 Kim Command and 7 Gigante.
Race number 7 here at Belmont Park. It's Australia race number 14. It is over the 1400 metres, and you will never find a harder race to find a winner in if you tried.
Unfortunately, punters, you're going to have to take field in the quaddie. Yep. You're just going to have to cop the 16 runners. We'll have a look at the replay horse, Chasing Chaos, winning last start at Belmont.
Dream trying to thread its way through. Wins a moment, the leader at the 350. Down the outside, Chasing Chaos, though, quickly looming up to it. And they're being followed in the middle by Fabulistic and Flying Image. The director had dropped out. Paris Dream runs on. Chasing Chaos, Flying Image, and down on the inside, Liberty Rise is starting to finish off. Chasing Chaos, Flying Image and Chasing Chaos went to the line. Chasing Chaos.
Really good performance there by Chasing Chaos, because let's be honest, Taylor Stone was a little bit nervous there with her first ride. She went very early. Speaking to connections after the race, they were a bit concerned, but the horse is in really good form as well. Taylor Stone's ridden this galloper 4 times for 4 victories. Now, when I just had a quick look at the field, I went, well, this is an easy race. Chasing Chaos just wins, but it's when you dive in, the form lines, it's not that at all. You take a look at a horse like Quality Fair, only beaten by 1.8 lengths by Chasing Chaos 4 starts ago, meets at 7 kilos better. So all of a sudden, the form lines for Chasing Chaos need to improve dramatically. Look, it'll run a race. It has a very good soft record as well. It's never finished outside the top 3 from 3 attempts when running over it. But it's not as straightforward as we thought it may have been.
No, arguably one of the better horses in the race, but so many others like Mr. Moment, who I was having a look at here. Now, it's got form behind Red Publisher, who came out and won quite impressively last Saturday. Yeah,
it did. Look, the only question mark again is the soft form. Has had the one run there unplaced, but didn't really get a good gauge from that. 24 career starts for only 3 victories is a small concern, but the Geraldton form has held up, and Red Publisher form is always one to follow. So can understand the light there. If, again, in a race where you go ifs but maybes, well, William Pike's on board, so there's a certainty that we like. So can understand you liking the thought of it.
Also, see, you've got a 25 to 1 shot on top, Adam. Number 4, Quality Fair. Tell us a bit about the Albany form.
Well, I think this just summarises the field that we've come up with a 25 to 1, and I've decided in 20 horses to go with barrier 20 as well. So that's how confident we are in this race. So we'll jump from barrier 16, brilliant, to the car park. But look, this horse has got really good, well, it's had the 1 run on soft track, that was last start, and was attacking the line strongly behind Potent Secret, which won the Horse of the Year in Albany. Gets a 2 kilo claim to Aaron Mitchell. And like I said, when you go through the form lines, Friday beat Friday last start, which raced midweek. Then 4 lines behind Potent Secret, which is good. And then you go 1.8 lengths behind Chasing Chaos and gets a 7 kilo swing. That, for mine, was too big to ignore, and I knew you'd get a prize as well due to the barrier. So fingers crossed for a little bit of luck. It'll need it, but I'm going to tip number 4, Quality Fair, from 15, 3-some, which I think can definitely win the race. Number 1, Chasing Chaos, and 5, 4-some.
10 on top for me, Adam. Pins, perhaps. They seem to handle the going. From 1, Chasing Chaos, 2, High Limit, and 3, Castle Retreat.
Race number 8 at Belmont Park is Australia race number 16, and for mine, this is the best race of the day by a long way. I know we got the classy sprinters a little bit earlier on, but so many times we talk about staying races and we don't get excited for it. This is hard not to, because we've got horses on the up. Tradesman is on the up, as is Dark Musket, Star Exhibit, also a horse like Keysbrook in these type of conditions, and Shintamani and Who's to Blame don't mind rocking up with flippers either. So I'm expecting a really good race.
Good race. Also take note, punters, the race is now 2,100 metres. It was changed from 2,000 so we could get an extra runner in, which is good. The more runners, the better for mine. Let's have a look at the replay of last start winner, number 1, Tradesman.
Saving ground at the top of the straight, further back Ocean Cracker and Drooper. Slick Talker though still in front, snuck nearly 2 in front of Tradesman. Now coming at him at the 200, Slick Talker running on empty. Tradesman levels up, goes to the lead. Galaxy Sun weaving his way through it, here's Illuminated. Tradesman, Slick Talker fighting back tooth and nail. Mitchell goes for the whip, Tradesman gets the upper hand and Tradesman wins it. Tradesman.
Look, we both had it as our best bet of the day, and it saluted nicely. Musket. Not going to lie, we were pretty concerned at the top of the straight though, and no doubt that this horse has just dowered out a little bit, and that is why we're seeing the step up in distance now. The boys were really confident that the step up will work, as was Aaron Mitchell. Got a few concerns though for this horse, just making that step against some that are very proven in the race. Take, for example, a Dark Musket, which we know can go the distance. Keysbrook, Shintamani as well. Would never rule out Tradesman from what we've seen. As we said, it was clearly the best bet for that race. We'll learn a lot from this start.
And did plenty wrong on that occasion. As you mentioned, Adam wobbled around the bend, but was still too good for them. Number 2, Dark Musket, who gets out to a nice trip and sees a bit of speed in this race, and had to steady last start as well.
Christmas could be here, Mark. It could be here very early. You're getting a nice price at the moment about a horse that finished 3rd in a Group 1 Kingston Town on a heavy track. So if it rains and we get what we expect, Dark Musket just goes to a new level. And I think the price that's open, I think it's about $6 early on. Absolutely ridiculous. As I said, 3rd in the Group 1 Kingston Town behind Delicacy and Perfect Reflection. Strong form lines there, beat Neverland, beat all these type of runners as well. Lucy Warwick on board. I mean, you could analyse that Jason Whiting's hopped off to ride Shintamani, but Lucy Warwick on board, pretty happy with the jockey change there. Barrier 6, I'm looking forward to seeing Dark Musket run.
You make a really good point about that Kingston Town run at Wait for Age. Not only was it a wet track, but it was a shifty track at that time of the day. So it's going to be the same sort of situation.
Nice in race 8.
Correct. It's going to be a little bit shifty. It's not just going to be a wet track. It's going to be shifty. Race 8, and as you mentioned, the horse can get through it. So
Christmas, Mark.
I dare say it could be. Let's get straight into the numbers.
Let's do it. I'm going with number 2, Dark Musket, from number 13, Who's to Blame, which gets a 6 kilo swing on Star Exhibit, 12 Shintamani and 1 Tradesman.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Tradesman, Adam. Number 1 on top for me. From the 2, Dark Musket, 12 Shintamani and 3 Star Exhibit.
Time now to take a look at the best bets of the card, and I'm going to go with, I think, the 2 best races of the day. Race 4, which I'm selecting number 8, Military Rain, and the Christmas race. Race 8, number 2, Dark Musket.
I know you won't be happy with me, but I've gone race 2, number 3, Universal Law. Very short, but should win. And race 8, number 1, Tradesman.
Not happy with you, but I'll allow a Quinella for that race. PerthRacing.com.au for all our event information. You can follow us on social media as well. On behalf of both of us, hopefully found you a couple of winners, and we'll be back again next week with another edition of the Box Seat.